having a lovely evening. And if you've just joined us for the first time, this is Happy Hour hosted by your girls, Angel and Audrey. So we're going to get stuck right into it, guys.
Straight into it.
Just straight in there. This week we discussed something that many of us find difficult in handling and controlling. Audrey, how are this?
Well, a member of the Royal Society, certain Curry, who was awarded a Nobel Prize for his work on how cells divide, told the World Conference of Science Journalists in South Korea very recently that he's got a problem, and that his problem is with girls in the lab.
Girls in the lab?
Yes, as in girls working in the lab.
Laboratory lab?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And the reason why he says he's got a problem with girls in the lab is because they tend to fall in love with their male counterparts and cry when you criticize them.
Oof.
That's what he said, ladies. That's what he said.
Is he trying to call us crybabies?
That's what he said.
What are you saying? Hold me back. Hold me back.
But I must say that he has since said sorry for these comments. But obviously it caused uproar with many people branding him as sexist, and that because he is a role model, having won the Nobel Prize in that profession, that it was wrong for him to have made such comments. Now, whether his comments were indeed sexist or it can be seen as a joke, which is what he said, he was just joking, but obviously people didn't take it that way. That's not going to be our focus tonight. We actually want to focus on what he said and what he said in relation to emotions.
Okay. Yes.
And so the question I want to ask everybody today is, can emotions cause you to derail from your plans or from your purpose?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Because we're all quite emotional.
We are.
People.
Yeah.
Not only women, men as well, might I add. Now, many may say that Sir Tim Hunt's comments were extremely sexist and out of place, like Audrey said, but many may argue that women are indeed emotional and sensitive and cry a lot. But we're going to take it from the angle and rather address whether emotions, if not controlled, can interfere or cause one to have blurred vision or miss out on an opportunity. Now, according to dictionary.com, emotion is an affective state of consciousness in which joy, sorrow, fear, hate, or the like are experienced. So emotion is a state of consciousness. So you are aware of a feeling which you may be experiencing at a given moment. And I believe that this is when you understand exactly what you experience, and not like a baby or a young child, but, when you're actually conscious of it. And emotion, is a part of the human makeup. Every single individual will experience different emotions. It's a bit like the British weather, if you ask me. You can have different feelings in the space of an hour. You can be happy 1 minute, someone says something to you and it just really gets you down and you're upset, and then 2 seconds you get a phone call and then you get amazing news and you're excited. So emotions can really go up and down in a short period of time. And emotion is something that is very powerful and can be overpowering if it's not controlled. And I do think, Audrey, that it is important that we recognize what and how we feel and how we attempt to channel that emotion. Many times we act or we react on impulse, which may be good, but can also cause setbacks. For example, you're at your final year of uni, you're a business student, on engineers or whatever you're studying, and there is this particular lecturer which is always just picking at you and just works you so hard, but you need the marks, especially from that particular course or module, should I say. And because you can't just take it anymore, you lose it and you say something which you can't take back, or you act inappropriately, and sadly you end up suspended. At the end of the day, who will suffer? Whose plans go upside down? It's yours. And it's important that we learn how to control those emotions.
I 100% agree. I think that emotions are very important, and because they allow you to kind of gain a sense of understanding if that makes sense. But control of emotions, like you said, is very, very, very necessary. And without control, you are unhinged, and you stand the chance of losing what you have worked hard for. So I think it's not only that, but people will not want to be around you or know where they stand with you, because one minute you're good, next minute you're low, next minute you're angry. They won't know how to deal with you, how to approach you. You know, you can go from 0 to 100 in a second. You find it very, very hard to sustain the good things in your life because you are constantly angry, and it can make relationships of all kinds, you know, whether it's parents, whether it's boyfriend and girlfriend, whether it's friends, whatever it is, it will be difficult because that person will not know how to react. You know, like when you're coming up to them, they might think, today is that person in a good mood, is it in a bad mood? How should I respond to that person? But I think, like, having said that, control does not mean oppress, and I think that's what sometimes we get confused with as people or as human beings, that if we, especially men, if we say you must have control.
Did you hear that, guys? That means you don't have to get involved, men. What did you say? What?
I said that. I'm losing my voice, so do excuse me. I said that, you know, control does not mean oppress, and I think a lot of times we get confused between the two. And I know that some men, I should say, not all men, would think that showing emotions is a sign of weakness, so they oppress their emotions. But, you know, I don't think that's not the way to go. And they're there for a reason, so you have to communicate them or show them.
I mean, you said something, you know, it has been said that emotions is a setback, like you said earlier, and if shown is a sign of weakness. But further to what I said previously, they can also be the key to what is needed at a particular moment.
Exactly.
Have you realised, Audrey, when you go for interviews, they usually ask you, what do you do in your spare time?
Yes, they do.
They want to know your hobbies and interests. The person behind that suit or that lovely dress you're wearing, they want to know your personality a little, you know. And for example, working with kids or elderly people, or as a nurse, you tend to exhibit particular traits. You may be patient or happy or bubbly or compassionate, and this shows through during an interview. You're a winner because that's what they're looking for, you know. And in essence, I think there should be a balance. You are who you are, but a very wise person once told me, don't let your emotions supersede your intelligence. We should allow them, you know, we shouldn't allow basically them to sway what reality says. And sometimes we act based on how we feel in that moment, and after a while, you know, when we think about it, it's like, wow, did I actually just say that? Did I just do that? You feel a little bit ridiculous with yourself. And I think control and balance need to be exercised, especially when it comes to our emotions.
Definitely. I mean, I've certainly had moments where I've acted, you know, in that time or in that space or wherever I was feeling, I showed it, and then afterwards I'm thinking,
I think we all have.
How did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. You know, and like you said, I'm sure we've all done that and we've all experienced that. But I think we have to go back to the question and talk about plans. So planning is something that is precise and time consuming and needs wisdom. It needs foresight. Planning in essence needs emotion, because for me, I think that it is passion that will allow you to plan effectively for what you want.
Definitely.
It is belief that will allow you to continue to challenge yourself and to push yourself to lengths that you never really dreamed of or imagined or thought possible. Moving on from that, it is perseverance that will allow you not to give up, and it is love for what you do or what you want to do that will allow you to get back up when you fail. It is patience that will enable you to dissect why you failed and then do it differently the next time. So all the things I have mentioned are emotions, and they are definitely needed for when you plan. You know, a lot of people will feel that showing emotions will make them seem vulnerable, but that will also allow you to put more effort and ask for the help if you may need it.
Right.
And if you do not show these emotions, how can you plan well? Your planning will be invaluable because you're not putting your all into it. You're not putting all your emotions into it, and it will not work. So I think, like you said, Angel, it is about a balance. You know, it's not a weakness to show emotion, but it's about learning to know when to and when not to. Like I said, that balance, knowing when to be angry, not angry, but knowing when to say something, and knowing when to kind of subdue yourself and be like, okay, let me just let this one go.
I agree. I agree. And you know, I know in the Bible, the book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 to 23, it talks about the fruit of the Spirit, and one of them is self-control. You know, God knows that our emotions may run wild at times, and he's made provision for that. So God gives us self-control, and he helps us how to deal with or handle situations that we are not so great at handling. You know, he basically gives us the key to handle it a bit better. Isn't that amazing? That's so cool. Guys, let us know what you think. Can emotions cause you to derail from your plans? Tweet in your thoughts. It's at Radio MTG, #HappyHourMTG.